So on this question, Halifax City Football Club sold the following number of season tickets. Male adults 6,382, female adults 5,850, and boys 3,209 and girls 5,057. Would you use a bar chart, table or pictogram to represent this data and explain why? Right, okay, sometimes when you're trying to explain why you would choose something, it's also a good idea to explain why you wouldn't choose the other options as well. So the first thing that I would write down here is I'm not going to use a pictogram to show that data. And the reason why is because, first of all, if one picture meant one ticket, I'd need a lot of pictures. I could have a key that said one picture was 1,000 tickets. But if you look at the male adults there, 6,382, if I want to show that and each picture of a ticket represented 1,000 tickets, I'd have 6 tickets, and then how would I show that 382 with part of a picture? That would be really, really tricky to show an accurate number there. I think actually that would be impossible to show that. So I'm not going to choose a pictogram because I wouldn't be able to get an accurate data value for it. So I'm just going to write that down. That's my first part of my explaining why. So I wouldn't use a pictogram for this data because it would be impossible to show an accurate data value. Okay, right, so a table or a bar chart. Well, the numbers seem really big for a bar chart, but I could have the steps on the horizontal axis going up in, say, 500s or going up in thousands. But again, it's the same issue as the pictogram. If those vertical axes were going up in steps of 1,000, then how would I accurately mark a bar that goes to 6,382? That would be really, really challenging, and the people trying to interpret my data would find it impossible to know the exact number of tickets there, wouldn't they? So I could change the scale. If I went up in hundreds, I could get a more accurate bar. But if I was going up in hundreds, to make 6,382, I'd need a very tall bar chart, wouldn't I? Because there's 10 hundreds in each thousand. So in 6,000 there'd be 60 hundreds, and then the 3. So there'd have to be 63 or 64 steps on that vertical axis, which would be a huge bar chart, which would take a long time. Anything that takes a long time would involve a lot of steps that could be a mistake. So I don't think that's the best choice either. So I'm just going to explain that either. I wouldn't choose a bar chart because in order to get an accurate bar chart, I would need to use steps of 100 on the vertical axis. However, this would mean I'd require a huge bar chart, which would take a long time to construct. So I'd use a table here because a table would be a quick and simple way. You'd have one column of which tickets you sold, then you'd have a second column of how many tickets, and in the row you could just put 6,382. So it would be simple, it would be quick, and the people who were looking at your data could easily see exactly how many numbers there are there. Now, that using the table for that would make it trickier for people to see who bought more tickets and who bought the least amount of tickets, and it would be trickier for them to see the difference in that, because they'd have to go and do some maths, some addition or subtraction, or to look at the numbers carefully. But even though that is tricky, I think this is still the wisest choice to use the table there. So I would write down, I would use a table to show this, to represent is a better word than show, represent this data, because it would be easy. I'm just going to extend that table. It would be simple to construct and show the data accurately. How do I write about the comparing the charts? I would say it would be difficult to see the difference or interpret the data. However, with some simple maths, it is manageable. Oh, there's an E in there, I bet. Yes, there we go. Okay.